Having a family history of type 2 diabetes is one of the most significant early warnings your body and your genes can give you. A quiet but serious alert that you may be walking a fine line between health and metabolic imbalance. When diabetes runs in the family, it means your body may already be predisposed to develop insulin resistance more easily than others. You may not feel anything unusual at first, no fatigue, no weight change, no obvious symptoms. Yet beneath the surface, your pancreas and insulin receptors could already be working under subtle strain. This risk isn't destiny, but it is a strong biological signal that demands early and consistent attention. Ignoring it often means letting decades of genetic vulnerability combine with modern dietary and lifestyle pressures until the warning turns into a diagnosis. The danger of family-linked diabetes risk is that it can progress silently for years. Your fasting glucose, or A1C, may appear normal while your body compensates with higher and higher insulin output. Eventually, those systems wear down, and what began as a mild predisposition turns into full-blown metabolic dysfunction. If both parents or multiple siblings have diabetes, your risk may be doubled or even tripled, but the greater truth is that environment often interacts with genetics to activate the disease. In other words, it's not just what you inherited, it's how you live with that inheritance. Diets high in refined carbohydrates, sedentary routines, chronic stress, and irregular sleep patterns can trigger the very genetic pathways that make insulin less effective. The body's natural ability to regulate blood sugar begins to fail not overnight, but meal by meal, year by year. The positive side, however, is remarkably empowering. Research consistently shows that genetics load the gun, but lifestyle pulls the trigger. Even if you have a strong family history, you can profoundly reduce or even neutralize your personal risk through proactive changes. One of the most protective approaches is adopting a Mediterranean-style eating pattern. This isn't a restrictive diet, but rather a long-term shift in food quality and composition. It emphasizes whole, unprocessed foods rich in antioxidants, fiber, and healthy fats that naturally stabilize blood sugar. Make vegetables and fruits the foundation of every meal, especially leafy greens, tomatoes, berries, and citrus. Add legumes such as lentils, chickpeas, and beans for steady, low-glycemic energy. Replace refined grains like white rice or white bread with whole grains such as quinoa, oats, or barley. Healthy fats are central to this style of eating. Olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish like salmon or sardines provide omega-3 fatty acids that lower inflammation and improve insulin sensitivity. These fats help the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins and reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, another common companion of diabetes. Lean proteins such as poultry, tofu, or eggs complete the balance, ensuring satiety and steady energy throughout the day. For people with a family history of diabetes, consistency matters far more than perfection. What counts is the pattern, choosing real, nutrient-dense foods more often than processed ones and maintaining a stable, anti-inflammatory eating rhythm that your metabolism can trust. Physical activity is the other critical pillar of prevention. Genetics may make your insulin receptors more sluggish, but movement wakes them up. Exercise is not only about burning calories, it's about teaching your cells to use glucose efficiently again. Even moderate activity like brisk walking, cycling, or swimming for 150 minutes per week can dramatically improve insulin sensitivity. Strength training adds another layer of defense. Muscle tissue acts like a sponge for glucose, lowering blood sugar naturally after meals. For those with familial risk, integrating both aerobic and resistance training into the week builds resilience that no medication can replace. Daily movement, even in short bursts, taking stairs, walking after dinner, or stretching at work, reinforces this protective effect. Regular monitoring is equally vital because it allows early detection before symptoms appear. People with a family history should not wait until they feel unwell to test their blood sugar. Annual fasting glucose and A1C screenings, even in early adulthood, can reveal trends that need attention. For a more detailed picture, monitoring post-meal blood sugar occasionally or using a continuous glucose monitor can show how different foods affect your metabolism. This awareness helps you make immediate adjustments. Maybe you discover that white rice causes a sharp glucose spike, but quinoa keeps you steady. These small insights, when applied daily, can change the entire trajectory of your health. The warning here is subtle but profound. Having diabetic relatives means you must start prevention years before most people even think about it. Waiting until blood sugar levels climb is far too late, because by then, insulin resistance may already be advanced. The danger lies in complacency, assuming that because you feel fine, nothing is wrong. Yet the earliest signs of risk are often invisible: a growing waistline, slightly higher blood pressure, mild fatigue after eating, or small shifts in lab numbers. When your family history carries this burden, vigilance becomes your most powerful protection. The hopeful truth is that the same genetic sensitivity that makes you more vulnerable also makes you more responsive to positive change. People with family-linked risk often see rapid improvements in blood sugar control and energy levels once they make consistent lifestyle adjustments. Within a few weeks of switching to a high-fiber, Mediterranean-style diet and maintaining moderate physical activity, glucose regulation improves measurably. Energy stabilizes, cravings subside, and inflammation decreases. Over months, these small daily choices can effectively turn off the genetic expression of risk, keeping you below the diabetic threshold for life. To protect yourself, make prevention an identity, not a temporary project. Plan your meals around color and fiber. Carry healthy snacks like nuts or fruit to avoid sugar crashes. Hydrate with water and herbal teas rather than sweetened drinks. Build daily routines that include movement, even if brief. Prioritize restful sleep and manage stress, because cortisol, your stress hormone, can raise blood sugar more than any dessert. And most importantly, check your health markers regularly and treat them as data, not fear. Every reading is a chance to act early and stay in control. Having a family history of type 2 diabetes is not a life sentence. It's an invitation to awareness. It means your body requires a bit more consistency, balance, and mindfulness than others, but it also rewards those efforts more visibly. By respecting that warning and responding with daily care, you can transform a genetic disadvantage into a powerful motivation for lifelong health. The path to prevention starts not with fear but with understanding, and the earlier you begin, the stronger your body's resistance to the disease will become.